Hello and welcome along and welcome back to Purbeck Valley. We've headed down the shop here this morning because the Kubota is ready. It should be all fixed up. So if we jump in here, yeah, we have no damages on it. I want to get it parked up and into the sell bay because it's time to say goodbye to it. We do just want to check that the class is still there that we're looking to replace it with. And yeah, there it is. 55% off, 124,000. It does have 27 hours on it, but that's a lot less than our Kubota has. So let's see how much we're going to get from the Kubota and how much we're going to have to borrow to get it. And we can get currently 49,000 for this. If we repaint this, we might get upwards of 60,000 for it. So let's borrow the 10,000 we're going to need to repaint it. And then we can hit the repaint. Yes. It added 10,000. So it's given us maybe another 1,000 overall once we take the cost of the repaint into consideration. So sell that. There we go. That is sold. And we have 60,542 to play with. Now it's 124,000 for the class base. Plus, I want to get GPS on it. So that's going to be 140,000. So we're going to have to borrow another 80,000. So 140,000 in total. We've got the Axion. It is a 920, so we have to keep the default engine in this series. We want to get Michelin tires on it. We'll go with standard wheel setup. We're not going to put the Izaria Pro Compact on here, but we are going to put GPS. And then we need to select somebody for the number plate. And congratulations to Jay Snyder. You have been selected at random. And I've gone for something a little bit different. I've gone for JY to represent J, and then SDR on the number plate for Snyder. So congratulations to you, and thank you very much for your support. So with that all done, we can now buy this. And this is going to be our last tractor purchase for a while. 139,892. So that should be our tractor setup done now. We've got the class here with exactly £650 left. So the money that we were expecting to be left with. And I think having an inspection done on this straight away is a really good idea. So while this is down here, let's start an inspection, get that going, because to be perfectly honest, we're not going to be using that tractor immediately. Instead, we're heading down to field 20 in the Vultra, and we're going to be finishing off the last few sunflowers we got in here. I need to get these taken out before the rain arrives this morning. Then we can use the time when it's raining to get over to the farm and get our other field of sunflowers done. So we'll stop this here and we'll go and get the combine going. And we're looking at rain arriving in the next couple of hours here with our forecast at 10 o'clock. So yeah, we're going to have about an hour to do some harvesting before the rain really sets in for a big chunk of the day. I'm not overly happy about that. I don't want to have this combine for a third day, really, but there's not much I can do about it because the rain is definitely going to cause us an issue from that point of view. So let's get through the rest of this as quickly as we can. And, well, from there, we might have to see what other jobs we can do around the farm. Maybe it's time to look at borrowing a little bit of money and getting the cows started. Before we continue on the farm, this video is brought to you in partnership with the awesome people at Apex Gaming PCs. I've teamed up with Apex Gaming PCs to create a custom line of PCs suitable for everyone from beginner farmers to virtual farming experts. And the highest spec machines are also perfect for streaming and content creation. Apex Gaming PCs have dropped the prices on almost all their products by 30%, so there's never been a better time to go check them out. I am pretty amazed at what we've been getting in the shop here so far. I've never had as much luck as we've had on this series, and to have 5 tractors to turn up in the first 3 months is pretty exceptional. I don't think we're going to be looking at changing the tractors much now. We've got a good 135 horsepower yard tractor that will do everything that we need to do around our animals and all around that, so that will be good. We've got a 200 horsepower general use tractor in the form of the Vultra, and that should handle pretty much everything that we need for that. And that has GPS on it, although it doesn't have the crop sensors on. Somebody suggested a front 3-point mounted crop sensor, and that's not a bad idea. The amount of money it'll cost us to lease that won't be very much, and we could spend the 5 grand on getting a front 3-point, which is a third of the price of actually getting the crop sensors put onto the tractor. There are limitations to it, so there are ways in which that could affect what we're doing, but to be honest, I think it might be the better way to go with what we have on the farm at the moment. And I'm very much looking now to limit myself more to the equipment I need. And just as we come to empty this, the rain has started to fall. So yeah, we are at a point here where we're not going to be able to do anything else on this field today. We can get these sunflower back, but we're going to have to come back to this field later and finish it off, which is really annoying because we don't have a huge amount of sunflowers to do. And that is the combine emptied, so we'll put the auger back in and we'll get these sunflowers back to the farm. I want to turn the combine off, jump in the Vultra, and we managed to at least get something done on this field, even if we haven't managed to completely clear it off. And look at how muddy everything gets just from a little bit of rain. October has really not been kind to us with the weather. We've had so much rain in the last couple of days that it's just hampered everything, and every day that we're unable to get these sunflowers harvested, it costs us more because we've got the rental for the trailer, we've got the rental for the combine. It just really causes us an issue if we can't get stuff harvested. Let's tip this up here then on the ground. And yeah, I'm liking this grain store. This grain store is very cool. Yeah, not much that we have in here. We need to get a pressure washer, I think. I'm just going to put this trailer under the cover over there with the wrap. And we'll probably end up clearing some stuff out of this yard as well, I think. So park that up there. And we'll turn that off. And I'll close that down, so water damage on our seed is kept to a minimum. And then we'll head back down to the shop to see if we got any more damage on this other than the 4 we bought it with. No extra damages were found. Okay, so we can probably get this repaired fairly quickly today. 4 damages are going to cost us 1,500. It's going to be 5:30, so repair those. Yes, that is going to take us into the red, but at least our brand new class will be fully functional when we bring it back from the shop. And we'll now have a look in the used vehicle sales, see if something new has spawned. I have added the used vehicle mod that everybody's been recommending in my comments, so we've got that in here now, and I've set it up and everything, so we've got a maximum 60% discount on anything we have, and I've reduced it so that we can have items under 5,000 appear in here, which is why the SIP Favorite 254 has appeared. But it should mean we can get front loaders and things like that in there. None of this though is useful to us. That Rosselmash is just incredibly big. and requires way more horsepower than we have. So, yeah, I think we're all good here. And that means I'm going to head up to the cow barn. So the first thing I want to check on down here is whether our bales have fermented in our snake. So if we have a look around the back here, we've got silage. So yes, our silage snake has fermented, so we can now feed any cows that we get. As a result, I think we can start look at getting them in. So if we have a run around the back here, I think our loading bay is inside one of these doors. That's milk. That's the milk parlor. So it's around the other side, over this way. And if we open this up, I think, yeah, just inside here is where it is. And interestingly, I thought I couldn't select it for a moment. So we can fit 100 cows in here. I'd like to get the whole scene. They start producing milk, I think, at 12 months. No, animals that are healthy and older than 18 months can reproduce. So, yeah, we need them at 18 months, to be honest. So that's going to cost $1.5 grand per cow. If we get, I think we're only going to be able to afford maybe 20 cows. The more cows I can get in here, the more money we'll make. And the fee for that is going to be 2,000. The more cows we get, of course, the higher the fee is going to be to bring them. There we go. For 50,000, we can get 30 cows in here. And I think that would be a good number for us to start getting some good stuff out of this. And, that's going to take us so close to maximizing or maxing out our loan. We definitely want to be doing this at this point then. So I am going to do exactly that. We are maxed out at 500,000. And this is the moment we need to get the cows and need to get some money generated. So it's quite difficult to get this spot for these cows. There we are. So we're going to buy a whole load of Holsteins. We're going to go with full 30 for 50,000. Buy those. Yes. Okay. Hello, cows. Right, we need to get you fed. And to do that, we're going to have to use the last of our money to get a feeding wagon hired. So under here, what can we do to get a feed wagon? We've got various ones available to us. 75 horsepower. I think we're going to have to try and keep our prices down a little bit and get something that doesn't cost too much. 39,000 for that one, 35 for that. The base game one is 45. There's that coon one there actually for 29. That holds 11,000. That holds 22. This one here holds 18. And this one holds 80. Oh, no. This one holds 14 to 18. We take this up to the dual axis one. That holds 14. Yeah, we want to alter the capacity then. Yeah. That takes it up to 40,000 for 18. So I think we want to get about 18,000 liters in there. That is going to be 40,000 for that. That is 39,000 for that. And that is 40,000. I think for now, to keep our costs down, I'm going to go with the coon. I think we're going to do this. It's only 11,000. And I said I was looking for 18, but we kind of need to have a feeder that kicks around for not a huge amount of money. So let's choose someone for the license plate. And congratulations to Jeremy Cripps. You have been selected at random from the patrons and channel members to have a number plate. And I've gone with JE43MYC for that. With the 4 standing in for an R and the 3 standing in for a 3. So that's Jeremy C is basically what we're going for on there. And okay, that And we're going to lease that. And that's going to cost us 1,504 to lease. Okay. And we'll pop down to the shop in the Steyr and go and grab that. I really want to get that weight back as well, but there's not much I can do actually with the current setup to do that. We are going to need it because it's basically what we need to load things up. Let's hook this up and all of that. And yeah, this should work fairly well for us, I think. I'm considering replacing this bale spike. The trouble we've got is you can see there's a load of hydraulics on this, and this front loader I don't think has hydraulics. So as a result, we're not really getting the full use out of these. And their price in here is fairly expensive for what we're not getting. I mean, we could get some stuff that's a lot cheaper without any hydraulics on it that would work better for us. So I think we're gonna get rid of that. And the larger expense that gives us, so we'll return that. Okay, and instead I'm going to pick up something a lot more simple. We've got various options here. We've got the bristle and laid ones here that I think can be customized a little bit. So yeah, we've got multi-prong setup. Actually, 4 prongs I think would be really good for this. Yeah, the 4-prong setup would allow us to pick up 2 bales at a time. We want the front loader, and we will stick with the grey. I think that works quite well. So we will... Well, we could... Oh, no, we can't buy stuff. We can't buy stuff. I got to remember that. We're going to lease this. Yes, okay. Right, so those are sitting there now. Let's reverse this up. And... should be enough space for me just to sneak in at the front here and get these attached like that. Right, and now we can head up to our animal pastures and get the cows fed. I brought the Valtra down here to the cow yard so that we can hook that up to our feeding wagon instead. That way we won't have to keep disconnecting and reconnecting our front loader. I also ran down to the shop quickly and grabbed the rear weight, which will make things a lot easier for our front loader tractor here. And lift that up. Yeah, and that will mean we don't suddenly pitch forward, as can happen. Let's unwrap the first bale on here. And this is actually one of the cool things about using a snake like this, is we have to actually unwrap the bales before we do anything. And then in and up. Perfect. So that's 3,500 liters in this bale. So we couldn't put 2 of these in. And then around here, I've got... I don't know if this is a full bale or just the part bale that we've got here. But that should give us a load of hay as well. So 4,500 liters of hay. So we're going to get that's 8,000 liters of hay and silage in from this. That would actually allow me to put a second silage bale into this to mix it up. So yeah, we will do that. Let's get the hay in and the silage in. That will then all mix into there. We'll add a second silage bale, and that should give us a full trailer worth. What I would like to do, I think, in future is probably pad that out with a straw bale. If we can put 3,000 liters of straw bale into here as well, that will work out fairly well. It will be less than both of those. So getting a really small straw bale would be... Well, we'd need the small straw baler, I think, to do that, to fling one of those in. Let's have a look. We are at 11,500, so just under full. Let's turn this on so it's mixing. And I should be able to drive in from this end into our cow barn and get them fed. So bring this into here. And I'm slightly annoyed because of all of our antics with the tractors and everything does mean that I'm now unable to get any of the solar panels sorted out. Although we still have 8,000. Maybe we've got just enough money to get a row of solar panels going, which would be absolutely perfect. I would very much like to get some of those in, even if with this current weather, they are not going to be doing very much in the way of power generation. But having a regular income every hour, that would make a lot of difference to us at this point. First trailer emptied, and I think we're going to need about 5 trailers in here. Yearly food that these cows require is 126,000 liters. So yeah, we are going to be filling up multiple times with this, and we do need to get multiple cuts of silage done. And of course, we've got that next month as well. Into November, we are going to be wanting to cut silage. We don't have a mower at the moment, and we don't have a tedder at the moment, and we don't have a windrower at the moment. So we are going to have to keep our eyes out for all of those things in order to make sure we can maximize our silage and hay production. This is our 4th load of mixed ration for the cows. This is gonna just about do us, I think, for today. So 2 more of those bales in. We're then gonna grab another one off here. I'm kind of thinking a central bale spike would be quite useful on this. Of course, we can't customize it now as we don't own this bale spike. But yeah, I think grabbing another one later, which has a middle spike option as well, would be quite useful. It has worked really well, though, in picking up the 2 bales for the silage to the 1 for the hay. And it's quite a good mix, this. This is going to work well for us. So last one of those in, then stop the engine on the Steyr, jump into our Vultra, and yeah, another 11,500 liters. Been looking at where I might be able to put my dairy, and I think a lot of space up this corner here, which would be really useful. So we should be able to put the dairy around here somewhere when we can eventually afford it. But the next thing I want to get is a passive income, and that is going to mean placing some solar panels down. So we'll see if we can get them down today as well. And in fact, the rain is just finishing up as we do our last load of these. So by the time we've got the solar panels down, the ground might be dry enough for us to actually get the last of those sunflowers out. So very much hoping that we can get field 20 finished off today, because I really need to get cracking on with field 32 as well. So with that all done, we'll park this up in the shed here, and I think we'll hold on to this. Not massively expensive to keep running on a daily rate, but I don't want to find myself in a position where I suddenly can't feed my cows. So just reverse this into here like so, and that can sit in this shed there quite nicely. And then let's go and have a look at these solar panels and see if we can't get some money coming in from those. So these are actually one of the bits I really quite like from the production DLC, and that is the farm production DLC. So the recent one, we can set up a string of solar panels over here. Oh wow, I can put 1 solar panel in for 4,800. That is not gonna cut it. That's not really worth it, unfortunately. We're gonna have to get, again, we're gonna have to raise sort of 40,000-50,000, I think, to put in all the solar panels I want to. That's pretty disheartening, because that means we're not gonna have that passive income coming in at this point. So how deep is the mud here? Let's have a look. Oh, not too bad. We're not sinking that badly at the moment. So I think we can probably get the combine going. Yeah. So start up the thresher. Start up the header, down it goes, and away we go. Yeah, and we're cutting fairly high with sunflowers as well, so that will help too. Other than a little bit I've got left behind me, this is the last row on this field. And we're getting, yeah, we're only going to be 35% full. We only got another 2,000 odd litres off here that the rain stopped us getting. That is incredibly annoying. But we'll tip this out into the trailer. We'll head back up to the main farm, and I think we'll crack straight into getting the headlands done and see how far we can get the next hour or so. This is kind of where I was hoping to be at the end of the previous day, with then getting into the headland of our other field and then cracking on with that other field all the way through today. But the weather has just not let us do it. Empty combine. Let's turn everything off. Put our auger in. And then we will fold down the combine and hopefully get this sunflower header over to our farm. It's going to be tight getting it through the main farm gate. In fact, I think I've got a better idea. We've got a double gate that goes around the back of our farm, and we'll easily be able to get this header through that. This gateway down the bottom here is the one I think to go through. Nice and wide. We can easily fit the header through it. And then this roadway should go all the way round to the back of our farm. The sun is beginning to set. We're going to have to get the lights on here. But yeah, this winds all the way back here. I want to get these fields eventually. Field 33, 34, 30, and 31 are all part of the same land. And we're going to have to save up money for that now that we are basically maxed out on our loan. But here we've got an entrance to this field. So start up the thresher, start up the header, in we go. And we might actually get the headlands knocked out tonight. 5:30, and it's really getting quite dark. I think we're only going to get one of our 3 headlands sorted before we have to stop. Because it gets too dark and too damp. And yeah, that's not quite as far as I'd like to be. I'm hoping for a much clearer day as we go into November. And if we can have a clearer day for that, that would be very useful. Right now, we are running behind. We are low on cash. And we need to make sure, actually, we can sell all of this crop. So I'm going to be looking for a solution for that next time as well. Whether that just means grabbing a bucket for our front loader, or whether that means grabbing a conveyor or something to allow us to fill up. I'm not sure yet, but we definitely need to get those things. And yeah, we're not going to get much further than a single headland here. Not the end of the world, but still, I would like to be further along than we are. And we did miss a few at the edge there. Every sunflower seed here is going to count, because we're going to need every single one of them. But as we come around the back here, I think that's about as much as we can do for today. We'll come up here with the tractor and trailer. We'll get this emptied. But for now, all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below, follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.